Hey everyone, my name is Penny Zenker, and it's time to reset. This podcast goes beyond just navigating change. It's about new ways of thinking about how you can approach challenges, how you can shift your mindset when needed, create some space and grace for yourself so that you can rethink, recharge, and reprioritize when and where needed. Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Thank you for hitting play and sharing this next episode with me. It's time to reset. Are you the bottleneck to your organization's growth? Or even the bottleneck of your own work? Decisions start stacking up. The team is growing, yet too many questions still land with you. Your days, they're filling up with putting out fires and trying to catch up. And the time that you need and that you once had for strategy, it disappears. Here's the real question. What's it costing you? How many hours each week disappear because decisions take too long, or momentum slows because your leaders aren't competent in making those decisions without you? I've spent years working one-on-one with CEOs around the world and helping them to create clarity, to develop strong leaders, and to scale their businesses. I'm excited to introduce you to Penny AI. I created it so people like you would have access to coaching directly with me. It's like having your own clarity coach available anytime, helping you to think through decisions, to reset priorities, and to build more autonomous leaders across your organization. And I want to give you a chance to use it for free. You can join my 7-day free trial by going to clarityfirst.me/free-trial. That's it. You can get it for 7 days. Listen, sometimes one clear decision is all it takes to change the direction of your entire week or your entire business. Go check out Penny AI at clarityfirst.me/free-trial. Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here and entrusting me with your time, your energy, and your attention. And today I want to talk about something that's really important, rather simple, and can change your life. It's about how you can change your state so that you can show up as your best self. Now, that might be your best self on any given day, might be different. That was something that I gained as a lesson from one of my trainers. There was one day where I was just feeling totally drained and I didn't feel like I had the same strength and energy. And he said, just give me your 100%, your 100% that you have today. And that might be different than the 100% that you had yesterday or the day before. And that kind of clicked for me to understand that I shouldn't be comparing myself to yesterday. I can only give what I have today. And that being said, this morning, I was also reminded that energy is everything and that we have the power to shift our energy. And it's about managing our state. So what does that mean? Well, I got up this morning and I was exhausted. I've been playing a lot of pickleball and day after day, I have a little bit of a pain in my back and in my wrist and was just feeling really tired and didn't want to get out and go to the gym this morning. But I did. I started out and I was tired, and the first thing that I do is I set my music. And that shifts my state 100%. I go from tired to totally excited and moving because I use Spanish dance music to work out to. Because I just love the beat, makes me want to dance, and it shifts everything. I went from tired to energized like that. And all I needed to do was to put on a song. We have the power to do this, right? You could be in the middle of an argument with someone and the phone rings and you're like, and then you pick up the phone and you're like, hello. We have the power to change our state. And it's so important that we are noticing how we're feeling and how we want to feel in that moment so that we can change our state. Now, I'm not saying shove down feelings and not allow yourself to process them or feel them, but there's a time and place. You can compartmentalize and say, this is not the time or place for me to deal with this situation right now. Maybe you need space to think about the situation that's in front of you so that you can have the space to look at it objectively. That means you need to shift your state in the moment. If someone triggers you, what do you do then? You need to shift your state. So, as I said, music is one simple way to shift your state. But let's look at a couple of other ways that you could shift your state in a crisis, like in a very difficult situation. I like to use sometimes examples of situations and people that we know. So let's take Chris Rock, right? He was assaulted on stage in front of a live audience and also TV. He could have been triggered. He could have lashed out and reacted in such a way that created an escalated issue. But he composed himself because he was on national television and he had this live audience in front of him. So, what you can also do in a situation where you might be triggered, and maybe you're at home and it's a phone call that you got, nobody's watching you. But what if you pretended like someone was watching? Like there was a camera on you and they were watching to see how you respond. And you knew that that would have an influence on other people. You'd show up differently. So that's one thing that you could do. A second thing that you could do in the moment to slow down the moment and shift your state instead of allowing yourself to be triggered or at least react to the trigger. You're going to be triggered potentially, and you can't necessarily change that because that's reactive, but you can change how you respond to that and whether you actually allow yourself to be triggered in the moment in how you show up. So, for instance, another famous figure, if you watch Ozark, right? Great show. Marty Bird is the main character. And he, from the very beginning, is sucked into this situation, kind of blackmailed to be a drug sort of money launderer for the cartel. And, what's interesting is he has all these terrible things that happen around him, right? Like there's a dead body in his living room. They show up with 2 carloads of money that he has to launder, and he has to do it within 2 weeks. He ends up crazy things happening all around him. And his reaction, they never get a rise out of him. His reaction, interesting. That's what he says to himself. Maybe he says it out loud. But think about it, that slows down the moment. It takes that trigger that you're feeling inside, like, holy cow, what am I going to do? Interesting. And it reduces the intensity, slows down the moment so that you don't overreact, that you don't make an emotional decision that could be costly. Interesting. Bring yourself into a place of curiosity, which now makes you more resourceful. And that's what we want to be in moments where we feel stressed and have high pressure, is we want to be able to shift our state to be more resourceful. This is what athletes do. This is what first responders do. And this is what you can do too. It's a skill that can be practiced. What do you already do that you might not be thinking about? Or maybe you don't even do it consistently, but you have something that you do in those stressful moments. Maybe you talk to yourself in third person. That's also works and affects our brain. Penny, you've got this. There's science behind these different techniques. What is it that you do? Because I want you to see that you already know how to do it and you're already doing it from time to time. How could you practice it even more in those smaller moments so that it's available to you in the bigger moments? So today, I want you to challenge yourself to be aware, because that's what comes first, is being aware that you're getting triggered, or what are the things that trigger you, so that you can be that professional noticer that I talk about and notice it as it's coming or even before it's coming so that you can be ready with slowing down the moment, shifting your state, reframing the situation. You can control your state, and it is a skill that you can practice. Start today. Because why? Because it's time to reset. Thank you so much for being here. If you have other topics, challenges, things that you want to hear about, I want to hear from you so that I can bring you the programming that's really going to make a difference for you. So please reach out to me over LinkedIn or any social platform. I'd be happy to listen and bring you the content that you're looking for. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode. My name is Penny Zenker, and it's time to reset. Hey, thank you for spending this time with me. It really means a lot. If you're feeling a little off, distracted, overwhelmed, stuck, or just out of sync, remember that's your signal to reset. And that's all it takes, just recognizing one reset moment at a time. So stay tuned for more tips, tools, tricks, stories, strategies, all here on Time to Reset. We'll see you in the next episode.